What's up, everyone? Welcome into Picks and Parlays Power Hour. I am your host, Hannah Mears. You can follow me on Twitter at @HannMears_ right at the bottom of the screen there. And we have some awesome NFL talk today, okay? But don't forget first to check out NoHouseAdvantage.com. It's changing the game as the most dynamic fantasy sports platform out there by offering some nice things out. So you've got to use the promo code signing up with PNP at nohouseadvantage.com. Download the app, go to the app stores, get a first deposit match up to $50. That's nohouseadvantage.com. We're always offering you some great things here on Picks and Parlays Power Hour. So you want to make sure you stick around for all of that. But we've got some NFL to talk about, specifically the NFC Championship. So to do that, I'm welcoming in Mr. Sean Higgs to the show. Hello, Sean. We've got Niners and Eagles to talk about, but before we can get to that, I want to remind everybody that if they head over to the website right now, they can get themselves a 25% off discount by using the promo code playoffs. So you can go ahead and check out all of our handicappers like Mr. Sean Higgs over there on the site and get yourself an awesome discount. Niners at Eagles. Eagles favored at -2.5 in this one. The total at 46. Sean, the Eagles might be one of the most complete teams in the NFL this season. That Niners defense is no joke, and Brock Purdy has proved that he is Mr. Relevant. So I'm curious. I think these are all going to be very interesting, close games here in the divisional round, but tell me what you're feeling in this game.
Yes, well, I think we're gonna have two good championship games, right? We got the lines open up at 1.5 on both sides and moved a little bit two here, and Mahomes kind of stuff flipped the other one. But I think we have two kind of battles, and I'm gonna look at this one. I'm gonna go under this total, Hannah. We saw last week people kind of make fun of that, like, oh, the Cowboys are terrible. I think people forget how good that team was during the season with Cooper Rush quarterback, and they were 8-2. They put up 50 points on the Colts one day. People are like, oh my goodness, the offense is good, the defense is fabulous. And now you come in two defensive teams, right? Niners defense, we hear all about it. They're always a defensive first team, right? Oh, whoever plays the Niners the next week, they don't even show up. They get blown out. They can't cover games. So they come in physical. And the Eagles defense, we're talking. I mean, like Terry said, like our 5-minute talk before here should have been a great roundtable for the playoffs. But this Eagle team, everybody has like 10 sacks on their team. Like, you don't think they're going to be able to get after it here versus listen, Purdy's been excellent. How are you going to, you can't knock a guy who's putting up 30 points a game before last week. But you know what? Here comes a very good defense versus a good offense, I guess. But let's be honest, you're off a physical kind of game. It's going to be a little sloppy on both sides here. As much as the Eagles are in off a route, let's be honest, Hurts is still kind of getting back into it. He was out for a couple weeks. He looked bad in that season finale. He had a bye week. He looked okay last week. But again, how good are the Giants? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be a defensive team. You got two head coaches, one super experience. We've seen this guy Shanahan in Super Bowls before. Right? Doesn't always make the best thing. He's the king of blowing 10-point leads and double-digit leads. Doesn't do the smartest things. And he's not going to want to get his quarterback into any trouble. He doesn't want to get in some kind of shootout here, right? We've seen the Eagles put up a bunch of points with their wide receivers and their running back. So I'm thinking we're going to see a lot of running, short passes, clock moving kind of stuff. It's not going to be, it's 4th and 1 from the 47. We're going to go for it. No. Trip to the Super Bowl, I think it's going to be more conservative. I don't think it's going to be more where everybody likes to see, God, go for it. No. Because you're going to go for it, and you're going to end up losing on plays like this. You're not going to hear it in the offseason. Why do we go for it? No. Field goals. I know Terry's got some props coming up later. I don't know if field goal props I look for this weekend. Absolutely for both games.
Right.
Under here. Two good defenses. Rookie quarterback on the road. Philadelphia, a bunch of animals out there. They attack Santa Claus. What are they going to do to this poor rookie? Oh, my goodness. I never want to be his family,
The Niners just need to come out and put the pressure on hard and fast, and that's what they're going to do because the Eagles have been taking advantage of people. If you look back at where they've been scoring, it's in the first and second quarters. That second quarter specifically, when they're able to adjust a little bit and take advantage of you. So slow them down in that first half of the game. That's how you beat the Eagles. So we'll see what's going to happen. But I think the best bet you could probably look at is the under because of all of the reasons that you just said. These games are going to be tight ones. So pick what you will, but the under is probably the safe bet. Thank you, Sean. Appreciate you for stopping by as always.
Anytime.
Like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. We're live Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern. Picks and Parlays Power Hour. I am your host, Hannah Mears. This is Picks and Parlays Power Hour. Thank you for joining us on this wonderful Wednesday afternoon as we've got some more NFL to get to. To do that, I'm going to bring in Nick Parsons. Nick, we are going to move over into the AFC. Joey B and the Bengals, Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. This is in Kansas City. Total at 47. Before we start talking about it, though, I do want to remind everyone we have an offer out right now. If they head over to our website and check out more in the description of this video, use promo code PLAYOFF, get 25% off. Love a discount all year round. So 25% off using promo code PLAYOFF. Now, Joey B and the Bengals have Patrick Mahomes' number, okay? Joe Burrow is undefeated against Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes' ankle is a huge concern right now. Now, if there is a quarterback that can win a playoff game and potentially a Super Bowl on one leg, I think we can all agree that Patrick Mahomes would be our guy. But will the Bengals defense, who's been looking better, be a little bit too much to challenge him on that ankle? Is Joe Burrow and the swag that this entire Bengals team has had, even in press conferences, just going to be a little bit too much? What do you think, Nick?
Well, I touch on all of those points on my analysis here. And yeah, I just wanted to talk a little about Sean. A lot of his thought processes, I think you'll see some parallels here with mine. He and I think a lot alike when we break down games. But yeah, I do have a big play on the side in this one, and you can pick that up over at picksandparlays.net. So I'm going to steer clear of the side, focus on the total. I mean, for the most part, when you think about these two teams, you think about the two men under center, the polarizing, electrifying guys under center, Joe Burrow and Patrick Mahomes, obviously two of the best in the NFL. Both of these teams are among the leaders on offense. But in my opinion, just like Sean did, I think that this is going to be a tight and more of a defensive affair here. The injury to the Mahomes, that seemed like 80% of the public money, early money, go on to the Bengals, and that's, you've seen a lot of line movement in this game in particular. But I think that the last thing that Kansas City can afford to do is to, turn this into a shootout with Burrow and Cincinnati. As you mentioned, Mahomes has never beaten Burrow yet. The Chiefs lost to the Bengals earlier this year by a score of 27-24. But I mean, how bad is Mahomes' injury? High ankle sprains, they're terrible for a number of different reasons. He's not going to probably be nearly as mobile as he normally is. He's not going to have that same power behind him that he normally has. And so when they are on offense, they're going to have to limit what Mahomes does. He's almost going to have to become a bit of a manager here, short crossing routes. Obviously, they're going to have to run the ball a lot. Kansas City, it did average almost 300 yards per game passing. That was number one in the league. They did average 115.9 yards rushing. But I do think that they're going to have to put a heavy focus onto the run here to alleviate some of the pressure off of Mahomes. Defensively, the Chiefs, they're a bit of a mixed bag. They're right in the middle of the pack. They only allowed, 21.7 points per game. But you mentioned the Bengals defense and how good it looked, especially down the stretch. They only allowed 20.1 points per game. That was sixth. And then they've looked really good in the playoffs defensively, especially last week against the Bills, 27-10. They've only allowed 27 total points between their two playoff games. So also the under is 6-1 in the Chiefs' last 7 at home. And so as good as these two quarterbacks are, I see this being a defensive affair, where field position becomes paramount. It's going to be decided in the trenches. And so, yeah, I think the under is the sharp play here.
Man, I think when we look at these NFC and AFC championships, I think we're looking at more conservative games than we have in the past for a ton of reasons, but for things of the trenches, the defenses, and the level of quarterback play we can see. But we talked about the Niners and the NFC being a bit beat up coming into this one, whereas the Eagles had a little bit less to worry about. And now we have Patrick Mahomes with his ankle. So many things to consider. So looking at the unders in both of these so far, the under 47 in this one come Sunday. Thank you so much, Nick. And everyone,
Thanks,
remember, subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. We're live Monday through Friday, Picks and Parlays Power Hour. Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern. So you don't want to miss out on these free plays that we've got for you. Thanks so much, Nick, and good luck. Now on Picks and Parlays Power Hour, it is time to give you a little bit of a parlay. We like to talk all things prop bets when it comes to these championships as well. Love to mix it in. To do that with me is my guy, Terry. We have an NFL 2-team parlay, but I also want to remind everyone, Terry, that if they head over to our website after this, use that promo code PLAYOFF. It will save them 25% off. We love a good discount, right? We also love some prop bets when it comes to this divisional football. So tell me, what are we thinking for this 2-team parlay? What you've got for us here?
Well, I first start off. I did cash my parlay last week.
All right,
So
love to hear
start
it.
off with that, which is awesome. Number 2 on Picks and Parlays the last 7 days. I do have a play up for each game up on the site, so you can get that. When I wanted to do this week, last week my parlay was, I don't want to say a little square, but plus 105. Not really that big of a plus money parlay here, but looking at it this week, I wanted to do a touchdown parlay. When you're looking at a player to get a touchdown, everyone's first thoughts are going to be go with Travis Kelce, right? Mm-hmm. Coming off a 2-touchdown game. The issue is he went 6 games previous to that with no touchdowns. So when you look at the odds, I'm sure he's one of the top ones to get a touchdown, and he's a great player, and he very well may get a touchdown in this, but I wanted to go a different route, so I'm going with Jamar Chase. He has touchdowns in 5 of his last 6 games for Cincinnati. In this one, the whole Mahomes question mark with how he's going to play also made me want to stay off Kelce. So when I looked at the Bengals, I like Jamar Chase. I like him to get a touchdown. Then when you're looking at the other side, McCaffrey, 8 straight games now with a touchdown. Yes, it may not be a long rushing touchdown like he's got it previously, but last week you just need to get to the goal line, and he's probably going to get the ball, and he's probably going to get a touchdown. So I like this 2-team parlay plus 267. I think it's a great price, and the other guys can still be right. It can be a lower scoring game, but someone's probably going to get a touchdown, and these 2 are the ones I like.
Christian McCaffrey, if you watched any of those games that the Niners have been playing with Brock Purdy, when they get to about the 20, they're looking for him in those short little out routes, and he's scored a couple of times on the right side, really short, looking for him to dish the ball off. He's their sort of safety net there, but he also can be a dynamic playmaker if they're down at the goal line, giving him the ball, just letting him get it in with his power. Jamar Chase was the first touchdown scorer last week, so he's a guy that they're obviously getting it to as a game-changing kind of player, and obviously, he and Joe Burrow have a great connection ever since college. Sure. So definitely good ones here. I like the plus money on this, Terry. Thank you so much for your insight as always. Everyone, if you like what we've got going on here, all you have to do is like, subscribe, follow along, ring that bell for notifications because we are live, Picks and Parlays Power Hour, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern, and we will see you next time. Good luck.